Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Remote STEM class. Mr. Dowd here. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. But let's get on to rock and roll school time because we're winding down the school year and let's finish strong. So, last Friday I worked on Olympic National Park. Today is Redwood National Park. So again, this is another California-based national park. It's a short one. It only has 6 locations, but that's okay. So the first place is Ladybird Johnson Grove. So it's a scenic 1.4-mile trail in upland Redwood Grove honoring environmental-minded former First Lady. Obviously, her name was Johnson. Last name was Johnson. Good guess there. So I bet you can guess who that First Lady was. Just another forest trail. Next up, we have Big Tree Wayside. This is a massive 1,500-year-old redwood tree topping 300 feet tall and measuring 68 feet around, located in the accessible paved trail. So it's called the Big Tree Wayside. So that is the tree there, folks. Goes straight up, 300 feet tall, 1,500 years old. So guys, direct message me now. What year or what date did that year? What year did that tree start growing about? Do the math out for me. I want to know. Next up is the Kalath Tore Through Tree with a nice, that looks like a Dodge Charger. Is that a Charger? I think it's a Charger. So it's a massive redwood tree in torus traction with a drive-through tunnel carved out of its trunk. So at one point, they decided to put a road right through the tree. That's all carved out with a bunch of graffiti because people are mean. Oh, look, it's hollowed out a bit. But yeah, so a full car can fit through. Tore through tree. Don't see that in Kansas. Next up is the Kalath River Overlook picnic area. Scenic picnic pullout, overlooking ocean and estuary with a frequent sightings of gray whales, seals, and sea lions. Very cool. So the river kind of ends there, and this is where you overlook it. So you can see all types of marine life from here. Now I do believe the sunset's on that side, right? So I bet you get some cool sunset pictures. Next is Crescent Beach Overlook. It's a wooden viewing deck above the Pacific coast with expansive sea views. Whale sightings are possible, but a little more infrequent than the other spots. But hey, here's that sunset I was talking about. So, yep, sun time in the west. And last but not least, will it be a visitor center? Let's see, folks. Haha. The Thomas H. Cuchull Visitor Center. It's a beachside visitor center complex with ranger talks, programs, plus a film, books, souvenirs, and beach access. So get down to the beach from here. Again, I don't know if you're allowed to swim here. I think you are, but I'm not positive. But you can clearly walk on the beach and hang around. But guys, that is all for today. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.
Good morning, Gators. Today I'm going to make another fan favorite, which I have made before, French toast. So I'm going to have 1 egg, but you could use more than 1 depending on how many French toast you're making. Put a little bit of milk in. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this ground cinnamon, and I'm going to sprinkle that in. Piece of bread. I've already sprayed my pan. Put more cinnamon in if you feel like it got soaked up on the bread. Another piece of bread. There you go. So we're going to cook them until they get brown on both sides, which is very quick. See, the brown stuff is cinnamon, so don't freak out. And you can use any kind of bread, white bread, wheat bread. You can use sourdough bread, thick bread, thin bread, whatever you have in the house. Smells good, smells like cinnamon. Now if you don't like cinnamon, you don't need to put it on. Just something to give a little bit of sweet flavor. And then when you're done, you can either put syrup on it, a little bit of butter. I've made French toast a lot this year. This is probably the third time I've made it. Just like the egg sandwiches, but keep coming back to a nice, good breakfast for the morning. And this is simple stuff that you guys can make. It doesn't take that long. See how that's toasting on around the edges? All right, so this is almost done. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this off, put it on this plate. It's best to eat it when it's hot. I am going to spray the pan because I have one more piece. Because I want to use up the rest of this. So. I'm going to put some cinnamon on those. Oh, here. All right, so after this is done, I put a little bit of butter on it. And if you make this, usually somebody will come running if there's anybody in your house because it smells that good. To find this. There we go. So I'm going to put this here. Get a little bit of butter. There we go. Nice butter melted in. Yum, yum, yum. And then take a little bit of syrup. Put it on. And good to go. Enjoy.
Hey Gators, welcome back to Language and Play. Alright, so this week we are doing a project on creating your own character as a hero. Alright, not necessarily a superhero, but a hero. It could be a superhero, that's one of your options, but it could be an everyday hero. Alright, so we're going to have a little... Just for one day. Alright, so we can be heroes for just one day. So, the premise of this whole thing is your character is going to be a hero for one day and one day only. Alright? It's not a superpower that they have all the time. It's not a power they have all the time. Just a one-day hero. So think about, let's do a little brainstorming of some people that we would consider heroes. Some of our first responders we might consider heroes. Somebody who helps somebody in a time of need might be considered a hero. Somebody who goes above and beyond what they need to do could be considered a hero. All right? Now you could also think of superheroes, right? Somebody who has mystical powers that is able to use that power for good. All right? Basically, my definition of a hero is somebody who uses their power, all right, natural or supernatural, for good. All right? So you get to be a hero for one day, and that's the character you're going to be creating. So on today's assignment, you are going to have a character profile. We're going to use the same formula we used last week and that we've used many times before. Only this time, we're actually going to be turning our hero into a scene. All right, so this week we're going to work on developing the character, and then next week we're going to be developing that character's hero scene. All right, remember, hero for one day, not more, not less, one day. All right, can't wait to see what you come up with, Gators. Go get them.
Hi guys, today we're going to continue working on our stippling project, okay? So hopefully by now you found some kind of circular object where you could trace a circle and then fill it with your landscape design. We looked at a few different examples of stippling landscapes. And I love this look of the silhouette, so I think I might do that for mine as well. So I'm going to start out by adding all that stippling, and then we can add some kind of a silhouette. So the silhouette is the tree in this one, where you just see one solid shape of black. And then you can see all the stippling technique behind it. And here the silhouette shapes are these kind of shaded or dark valued areas. All right. So this one actually has like the black background with some white stippling look and a little bit of stippling happening in the mountains and down here. And then we have the silhouette trees. All right. So there's some stippling dots happening in this one, and also a little bit of kind of like line marks, almost like a cross-hatching kind of technique. We're going to stick to the stippling. Oops, not that. But we're going to stick to our stippling effect with all those dots. And remember, if you want an area to appear to have a darker value or be in shadow, you need to add more of the stippling dots. Okay, so when I start mine, I'm going to do a sky that's kind of similar to this. I'm going to start just by making a whole bunch of dots with my Sharpie. If you have a Sharpie pen, then great. If not, just try to find any kind of a pen. A black pen is good. Or any kind of marker you can find. Even if it's blue or red or green, that's okay. As long as you can make some dots, they're going to stay there and won't get smudged like a pencil dot. But if all you have is a pencil, it's okay. You can do it with a pencil also. So I'm going to fill my sky with some dots like this. I'm not really changing the value, so that means I'm putting about the same amount of dots in each space as I go through the sky area. I'm not going to be doing a lot of value change up in the sky. But when I come down lower to my actual land part of the landscape, I probably will be changing the value and having some light areas and some dark areas and some areas that have a little in between value, so a medium amount of darkness. And then in the end, I'm probably going to make my mountains be the silhouette area where it's just one solid dark shape black. And when you create that contrast of the stippling areas next to the silhouette area, you're creating a nice contrast. It looks good. When you put two things next to each other that look very different from each other, it creates a nice contrast. The contrast of difference. Okay, so I have my sky done. So now when I come down here, I think I might make some areas of my land have a darker value. So I'm going to put a lot more dots, kind of congested and close together in some areas. So maybe just on the left side, I do a lot of close together stippling dots. And that will give it the look of having a darker value, which is what I want in that area. And then maybe I'll just keep it a little bit lighter out here as I come down lower into the foreground of my little landscape circle. And then here again, I'll probably do a little bit darker. And then for my river, I'm going to make it be really dark, a very dark value. And then as I come down closer and I get closer to the foreground, I will start adding less and less dots. So hopefully you have a Sharpie, because Sharpies really get you that nice solid dot for your stippling dots. A nice dark black dot. All right. Go back and add a little more to my river. And back to the ground again. All right, so I'm almost done with my stippling technique, creating a little bit of area that has some darker value and lighter value down low. And next time what we'll do is we'll add a nice silhouette somewhere in your design. Decide what shapes you want to be in a solid black silhouette. All right. And that, my friends, is stippling. And then when we're done with everything, we can go back and erase the original pencil lines. So all you will see is the pen marks.
Thanks for watching Enrichment TV, Gators. Remember, work hard, be nice, and we'll see you tomorrow.